Hey everyone, Phil from Warhammer Online here with another quick airbrushing tip. Today we're going to be looking at doing super fast and quick and easy Powerclaws, as well as adding a little bit of gradient to the jump packs. This is just really to show that some very quick techniques can have a big impact on the overall look of your army. Right, as you can see, it's a very straightforward effect. It only needs 2 paints over the top of a black primer. So let's get started. First off, we're going to be using Minotaur's Lagoon Blue. This is a really nice paint, and as ever with the Minotaur range, just works straight out of the pot. For my purposes, I've decanted them down to small dropper bottles just so I can use smaller amounts really. Okay, starting with a pressure of 20 psi coming out of the compressor, I'm just going to give a slight mist around each of the claws. You'll note what I'm doing is angling the model away from the airbrush to avoid overspray hitting the body. This was done as an initial stage anyway, so there was still work to be done over the top of the main armour, but still, it's better safe than sorry, just trying to avoid as much overspray as possible in targeting the model. You'll note as well, I was really careful not to catch the actual power fist itself. I wanted to try and keep the blue onto the claw, so really this is a gradient going from black into blue and then finally onto snow white. And all I'm doing here is to try and catch the very tips of each power claw, just to give that sort of charged with power and electricity effect. It's okay to go a little bit heavy with the white as well. I mean, I'm running at 15 psi, so there's not much overspray. But I also know that once the white dries, it will lose some of its opacity, so it tends to dull down a little bit and merge with the layer below. As you can see there, I was just using a bit of tissue tucked between the arm and the leg as well to help protect from overspray. There was no way of avoiding the white spraying onto the model there, so simply put a little bit of tissue in between, no need for a detailed mask. And off you go. Okay, there's the results. I think I did about 15 to 20 of these in one go. A few of them had separate components, so the captain had separate arms. I believe they were magnetized, believe it or not. Let's just have one last quick look then at what I did with the jump packs. So this is using Minotaur base grey, and again running about 20 psi in the compressor, which gives me a nice fine spray, but not too much power that there's overspray going everywhere. There's no need to mask any of this, I'm just holding it upright, catching the edges and putting a little gradient along each blade. Turn it over, do it from the opposite side, and really try and catch the edge. And again, I don't mind if this is a bit contrasty, because I know as the paint dries it will dull down a bit. Base grey in the Minotaur range is such a fantastic colour as well. I really like this one. Slightly warm colour to it, so it really works well over black. It's one of my favourite paints when it comes to highlighting blacks. Well, that's pretty much it for this quick tip. As you can see, it took me only a few minutes per model. I think in one sitting of less than an hour, I managed to do about a unit of 20 in total. So really fast, very effective, and then it's just a question of going on and painting all the detail work. I'll leave it with a couple of showcases just so you can see how the final model was done. And as you can see, there's traditional paint techniques there, and use of dry brush and highlights, as well as some shading and washes over the top of the main model. But for all intents and purposes, leaving the airbrush elements as they were, straight from the brush. Maybe just picking up a little bit of an edge highlight on the edge of the jump packs there, or just touching up with a little bit of white on the power claw. I think we also added a little bit of satin varnish to the power claws as well, just to make them really bling and add a bit of contrast to the model. Okay, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.